And I'm back and sound works. So I think maybe I shouldn't mute. Oh, wait. I shouldn't mute the mic by putting the thingy up because it screws things up. No, I have to. So I've seen no sound at all. So we're gonna start new again. Yay. And hopefully the sound will stay and we'll have a nice game. I can just start and while I set things up. Because I don't want you to miss out on something, so let's just start from the beginning. And if you don't want to see it, you can read a book or something, grab a drink. We're not that far in, so I hope it won't take too long.
You'll be thrilled, Miss Tangre.
The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold?
Harold? Where are you, old
Harold?
bugger?
Harold? You hear me? This is no time for fun and games.
Shh, calm down. I'm a copper. We're on the same side.
A copper? What are you doing here? And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh, turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But how do you know?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we catch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
Do you understand? You and me, mate, we'll be heroes. All right, now, we just have to...
what?
Halt! Stop! You're under arrest!
And where are you from, Matthew Miller?
From Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. But my mom and I live in England now. She's taking care of some rich old lady. We're on our way to Venice at the moment. We're taking a cruise on a big ship.
Impressive. You've already seen half the world. I've spent my entire life in Switzerland.
Must be really boring.
And what's with the gun? What do you need it for?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre, and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown jewels with rhinestones.
I know who the Raven was. Although I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels. You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum. There was an explosion. A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what the papers say?
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Or did he pull a gun on you?
No, monsieur.
Get a move on.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with a celebrity like you.
We appreciate the support of the Swiss police, but it'd be better if you'd remain seated and...
Hello? Okay, so it's the second time I streamed today because first there was no game sound, then I wasn't there, so it's pretty annoying. So I keep switching screens and I don't know what I can do about it. Really have to look at it.
But, monsieur, surely I can be of assistance, somehow. I saw a safe being loaded.
We have everything under control. If you'll excuse me, I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
I'm not here to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finely honed powers of deduction.
Thanks to that?
I watched the people on the platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more impressive if there weren't a violin case next to him.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
Maybe he's just taking a holiday in Italy, following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
Is
All
the
right
sound
then,
okay?
Constable.
Can you hear me when I
Constable
talk, or is the
Zen.
game
If you're such a
too loud?
clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
I think you're guarding something.
Oh, really? And what might it be?
I really couldn't say. But it must be very important,
Why is that?
because you are very important. They wouldn't have assigned the case to you if it were just a trifle.
Let's assume that we really are transporting something very important on this train. And let's assume that it really is my job to see that it arrives safely. Then why isn't the train crawling with police?
Okay. Thank you. Air fryer. Nice things.
It's a trap.
You've got a vivid imagination. I'll give you that. Well, that is impressive, I admit. But the fewer people involved, the better. We'll get along fine without you.
You won't.
Won't? Pardonnez-moi.
I can help, and I will help. You're in my country, and I've been ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do, whether you like it or not.
Clever and stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zelna. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know?
Because he's good like that.
Oh, hello.
You cheated.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself, and you were just pretending to put two and two together.
And what of it? Do you know who that is? That's Inspector Nicholas Legrand. You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me? To the very policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa! It was him?
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either. All right, Matthew. I have to do my...
Do we still have game sound now? Is it just me? Okay, so it's not just me. It's been happening all the time today. It's really starting to get on my nerve. Um, and it's back.
All right. Swiss are crazy about trains. We don't just have a lot of railroads. We have the most beautiful ones in the world.
Would you be so kind as to close the window? I don't want to sit in the draught.
Oh, pardon.
Okay.
The violinist is a good-looking fellow, and he's traveling through the most beautiful mountain landscape in the world. One can only hope that his violin is better tuned than he. Hello, sir.
Hello.
If I'm not mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that case, I'm probably not one of the best.
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship. I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm performing at the reception in the Egyptian Museum there.
I'm sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order, sir. We Swiss are just very cautious people.
I understand. No.
You scared the music away.
This is the first car. The coal tender should be directly beyond this door, and in front of it, the engine. The large map shows the different routes of the Orient Express. This train began in Paris and ends in Istanbul, as usual. Unfortunately, it will make most of its journey without me.
Oh, why?
Very kind of you. Thanks. Oh, pardon me.
I don't
No,
trust
no,
the guy.
no problem. The uniform is waterproof.
I think someone else should stream, so I can hang out there and cry. Oh.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
If you work in the British Museum, then you must have experienced the burglary firsthand.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
There was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum And it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the
It has
last
something to
2,000
do with
years
the
concerns
Jewelry
me.
Thief. But yeah, the inspector or whatever he is gives off a sort of Poirot vibe.
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No. Why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
Bye-bye.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just, I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable.
Yeah.
What's
nice
this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
Well,
we'll sort it out
I
somehow.
can turn the cam, so
The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here. Perhaps a thoughtful conductor noticed that Professor Lucien wasn't in his compartment and locked it. You can easily lock the compartment door from inside by turning a little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
no, because you're outside the
Professor,
compartment.
if you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
Oh,
That's true.
He doesn't make, and he of all people isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum.
can I open it now? Or do I really have to find someone?
I don't believe that. It's no use. The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it.
Let's find someone else.
The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz. Blue blood on the Orient Express.
Where did I go?
I don't believe. I thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer.
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable.
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure. As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
What are you doing here, if I may ask? Are you on holiday?
Should be
Holiday?
somewhere in the
Yes,
back.
so
and
to
the
speak.
Doctor and
The
Clara
first and last holiday of my
are
life.
there and a
Madam?
big mummy.
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine. About the other passengers, did you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty
2
young,
biscuits.
but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course.
Let's just ask
Did
all
you
the
notice the
questions.
blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there, we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to
Everybody's going
Egypt
to
by ship
Cairo.
as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see. Coming back to the other passengers again, did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor?
I noticed that you've
doctor.
asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot. Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
Who the fuck is Ronald?
The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
It's always good to have a toothpick. We're gonna MacGyver our way around here.
Butterscotch. I've loved them since I was a child. Their only drawback, they don't play nice with false teeth. Maybe if I just suck it.
What are you eating?
Who'd have thought that one day butterscotch would remind me of my age and of all the things I had to leave behind? I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence.
Is this better or still too soft? La la la. Still lower, I think. It's not easy to Something like this. I hope this is better because I don't know what to do otherwise. It's almost all the way down. Okay, let's have a look. I think the game sounds better now, right?
Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. Where could he be? A shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years.
Woohoo, trophy.
The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I couldn't believe it.
I also couldn't believe it. Just turn it off again. So.
I'll leave the scissors here. If I need them, I know where to find them.
Okay.
The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today.
There's nothing to do.
I don't need the pad.
So I have a pencil, I have a toothpick, I have some butterscotch. I'm not gonna pry open the... Or am I? No, I'm not. Okay. So...
I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the platform in Zurich.
Ah, Mr.
Zellner.
Right, right. How can I help you?
Do you know where the conductor is?
I'd like to know that myself.
Oh.
I told him to search for my missing suitcase in Zurich.
Yes, please.
He hasn't got back to me
Only
yet.
to
He's
try it out
probably
for a
in
bit.
cahoots with the thieves.
Yeah.
And didn't bother getting back on the train.
Thanks for
if
the
we
offer.
don't crack down on vermin like them,
I'll gladly
the
accept.
rabble will rule the world one day.
Well, at the moment, we still don't know what really happened.
He is not here doing his job. That's bad enough.
Tell me, did you notice anything suspicious here on the train or in Zurich?
You mean, except for the fact that my suitcase was stolen on the platform? No. Is there any reason to be concerned?
No, just routine.
Constable Zellner, please don't think I'm naive. I spotted the inspector from Interpol.
It's not really
Legrand
possible.
is his name, if I
But
recall
I
correctly.
Legrand.
If you say so. At the train station in Zurich, he put a cash box into the safe. And then kept close watch as it was loaded onto the train. Don't tell me that a man at his pay grade routinely tramps across the Alps just to keep an eye on cash boxes.
A cash box? Like the ones you'd find in safe deposit boxes?
Precisely. And I believe we both have a good idea just what's inside.
It should be louder now. I hope.
I do indeed have a theory, but what's yours?
A ruby was stolen in London. One of the legendary Eyes of the Sphinx. The second jewel, an emerald, is rumored to be in a Swiss bank vault, if I remember correctly. Both jewels were supposed to be exhibited together in Cairo for the first time in 50 years. It does make one wonder.
Indeed.
Why does the camera...
Any news about the robbery in London?
Quite something, wasn't it? It must have been professionals. The way they disabled one of the best security systems in the world. Most impressive.
People were injured.
Well, one cannot execute a robbery of that scale without collateral damage. It seems like the Raven has finally found a worthy successor. We can look forward to new and spectacular coups.
I'm afraid I won't enjoy his exploits this time around if the new Raven is so reckless.
That's your prerogative.
May I borrow your newspaper?
You can take the section with the article on the burglary. You're interested in that bit, aren't you?
You caught me out.
Here you go.
Dankeschön. Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Really? Oh, is there something... Because I hear scribbles? Is there something I can view? No? Here? Ah, look. Okay, yeah, so... I don't really hear anything has changed, but okay.
The ladder leads up to the roof. It will be suicidal to climb up there while the train is at full speed. The wind, tunnels... No, I'll stay down here.
Oh, I'm back here. No, I
I'd better
wanted
let him
to...
read his newspaper.
Can I go
I'd
to the
better
other
let him
card?
read-
Shh.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked.
Try it.
No.
No, it's open. Wow.
Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the Yard. And this is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
It's a
Then I
trap.
was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
He's a bit condescending, isn't he?
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur. What do you know of this Raven's heir?
He tried to blow me up.
Robert, we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event,
yes.
The new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur?
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And, Constable Zellner?
Yes?
Don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood. An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end.
Oh, wait. There was a... I have to get back out. Go out one more time.
A box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang! Bang!
Huh?
Don't move!
Matt, have you gone mad?
I'll shoot! Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too, once you look past the window.
Woohoo.
Yes, sure. Now get
Thank you,
moving.
Silver.
Oh, man.
Okay, so let's open the lock for the kinda anxious guy. Thank you. You were on my auto host list from the start, I think. Oh. You know, this guy is drunk. Look how he's walking.
Oh, Constable?
Yes, ma'am.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope. It's just that he just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
I'm afraid so. He played a trick on me, a rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Maddie is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
You may not ask.
He's gone.
Ah, I understand.
Could you, leave Maddie's pistol here, perhaps? so you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back into Venice.
Very well. Thank you again, Constable.
Ah, never mind. It's nice I'm on the list now. Okay, let's see if we can MacGyver our way in. Do I have to combine some things? Can I combine? No. No. Okay.
Luna's Drops, the calming herbal liqueur for women. A glass a day. It relaxes the nerves and maintains domestic tranquility. Luna's Drops, if you don't want to bother your husband. An incredible feat. They built the largest movie set of all time in Rome. And because of the main actress's many illnesses, several changes of director, and months of delays, costs shot to over $14 million. The most expensive movie ever made. A record never to be broken. John Surtees won the Formula One World Championship for the first time on Saturday. He also won the World Championship in motorcycle racing from 1956 to 1960, making him the only man in motorsports to win world championships in both motorcycle and Formula One events. Not really my cup of tea.
Oh.
Too loud, too fast, too much exhaust.
Really no? Okay. Ow.
The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. I'm at a loss without a key or a proper tool. The bolt is too short to get a... I'm at a loss with...
Okay, so that was closed. So I think I have to do something with the paper and I don't know.
Hello, Matt.
The butterscotch.
Oh, come on. Are you going to be angry with me for the rest of the trip?
Until I get my pistol back.
I gave it to your mother.
Oh, man. Couldn't you have just raked me over the coals?
Would you have learned anything from that?
I didn't learn anything from this either.
Matt doesn't really seem to be content. There could be many reasons for the violinist's shaking hand. Strained nerves, an illness. My money's on alcohol. It wouldn't be the first musician who ruined his career that way. I don't know. There could be many... My money.
I really pushed the button to talk, but you. Okay, so I have pencil and toothpick and butterscotch and a wallet.
The bolt is too short. I'm at a loss.
I don't want to read. Go away. So I need something to grip the bolt, or let's see if the Baroness has something.
Yes, what is it? Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir. It was stolen.
When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What? In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich, on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs. The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What? The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
Never.
I never lose anything.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might add...
I thought, James, the Baron...
Yeah, I don't want to.
Thank
Okay, so maybe I can use the scissors. If he wants to grab them now. Hello, grab the scissors. No, what?
I'll leave the...
I want you to...
I need a bit of... I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock.
All the things I need.
I'll leave the scissors here. If I need them, I know where to find them.
You do that. Go back. Ah. There was nothing
Hello,
there.
Dr. Geb.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
I meant to add, the Baroness is missing her purse.
A baroness? This train is really full of the creme de la creme. The queen of crime is over there, and now a baroness as well.
Have you seen the purse?
Unfortunately, no. Do you know Lady Westmacott? You were talking to her.
Well, I'm an admirer of her work.
Like so many others. I once read in the newspaper that only Shakespeare and the Bible sell more copies than her crime novels.
I read that too.
She must be filthy rich. As a doctor, I'd have to work 1,000 years to earn that kind of money.
Auf Wiedersehen,
1,000 years.
Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Again, really. Okay, so where can I get wire or something like a thong or no?
An extraordinary woman, yet...
Can't talk to her. I want to talk to her. I can't talk
Mrs.
to
Miller
her.
made a good... But I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt.
Where are the things I need? Come on. Oh, now I can talk to her. There's no sound, but I can talk to her. No, you don't. Okay. We're back. Yay, back. Mr.
A
Purse.
passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
Sorry, no.
Nor have I.
Have you asked my little boy? Maddie is good at finding things.
I haven't asked him yet, but I will. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
So, nothing out of the ordinary.
No, Constable.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
There are thousands of things I would like to ask her, but nothing would justify neglecting my duties here on the train.
Okay, let's go to the next card. There must be something somewhere, right? Yeah, I promise to help you, but I won't, because I can find things to help you.
Come on, Matt. Did you really think that you can ignore me for longer than I can ignore you? I'm Swiss. It's practically a national sport. Should I ask for an autograph? That would be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand, Matt is digging in his heels. I won't get anything out of him as long as he's angry with me.
So, oh, wrong button. Giving him a butterscotch.
Would you like a butterscotch?
You think you can bribe me?
I have no reason to. You made trouble and got punished for it. Take it as a peace offering.
Just 4?
If I'm faster than you, there'll only be 3.
Hey!
Friends again?
Mm-hmm.
All right then. And no dangerous nonsense anymore.
Okay.
Something completely different this time. The Baroness in the second compartment over there is missing her purse. Do you have any idea where it could be?
Do I ever?
Hmm?
That guy over there with the violin case?
What about?
He picked up something in Zurich and put it in his violin case.
Really?
Yeah, and he made sure that nobody saw him.
You saw him.
Uh-huh.
Did you also see what it was?
Nah, not really. But now that I think of it, it must have been the Baroness's purse.
I should look into it, shouldn't I?
I think so.
Your mother is Lady Westmacott's companion, correct?
Yeah, but it's not like you think. At first I thought, boy, you must be really wicked if you need to pay for friends. But the lady's really okay. A bit odd and really old. But other than that, she's great. She likes me.
The lady has peculiar taste.
Hey!
Tell me, have you seen the steward anywhere?
No. He was walking around a little while ago, though.
Hopefully they didn't forget him in Zurich.
What's he supposed to do?
I'm looking for a key to open a compartment door.
Did you check his things behind the counter?
I'm sure the drawers will be locked.
Can't you break it open? Or pick the lock like the Raven?
Perhaps. But I'd need a piece of wire or something like that.
Ask my mom. She has a lot of hairpins. She doesn't like the wind messing up her hair.
Thanks for the tip.
Now we're getting somewhere.
How old are you, Matt?
In 8 months, I'll be 9 years old.
And do you already know what you want to be when you grow up? A burglar?
No, we'll see. Maybe an actor.
Really? Well, I don't know. You need a lot of talent for that. I'm an actor in a theater group, you know?
You are?
Oh, yes. And I'm one of the best in our group, if I may say so. I get really deep into my roles, you know? I don't just talk like the character. I think like him. I become him. It's the only way to... Matt, are you okay?
I think you just have to be good at copying things to be an actor.
That wasn't bad. Disturbing, but not bad. You and your mom, you both live on Lady Westmacott's estate?
I'm only there for the holidays. Most of the time I'm at boarding school.
I imagine that's not very pleasant.
No, it's fine. I have friends there. You always have to be so quiet in the lady's house. And I'm not allowed to bring any friends.
Such a big house with so many places to hide and no one to play hide and seek with.
You said it.
You know, I'm not gonna ask about your father because...
So long.
So longer.
I have things to do. Like, talk to this guy.
The violin case looks pretty old, but that doesn't say anything about the quality of the violin. The best violins are often in the oldest cases. I doubt the violinist will let me have a look in his case. Excuse me, sir. A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps it was stolen.
Really?
Someone saw you with your violin case on the platform in Zurich.
What's the meaning of this? I didn't steal anything.
Nobody said you did. I just wanted to ask you whether you might have noticed anything on the platform.
Ah, well...
Why did you think I was accusing you?
Well, I thought because you mentioned my violin case in the context of the purse.
Apropos, may I have a look at your violin? It must be a very extraordinary piece.
Oh, that's not possible. It's a genuine Guarneri.
It's not possible.
Very,
you can't look at it.
And also very sensitive.
What could harm it here? Light? Air? May I ask you to open the violin case?
No, you may not. I'm not guilty of anything.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Then I'm afraid you need a warrant. I will not stand back and let you rifle through my belongings.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Just walk straight. Come on. You can do it. Talk to Miss Miller. Yes, please. Can I have a hairpin?
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Please excuse my unusual request, but Matt said you have some hairpins. Could I borrow one?
One of my hairpins?
It's a long story. It would be a big help.
Well, if you really need one, go ahead,
Really,
Mary.
really,
The constable
really
won't do it any
need
harm. Will you, Mr. Zellner?
Mm-mm.
Of course not, madam.
Scout's honor.
Is this one okay?
It'll do nicely, madam. How very kind of you. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
And suddenly, it's me who's the thief on the train. Oops. That was easier than expected.
Oh, maybe I can open the...
Batteries, a toothbrush, shaving brush, but not the key to the compartment door. Just this one. Too small for the door, but it might still be useful.
It's for the box outside. So yeah, won't have to pick the lock. So... there must be a plier in there somewhere. I think. think. I hope. Finally, we're getting somewhere in this train.
The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key. That's it. There we go. This should help.
Hello?
I bet I could really get a grip on the bolt with these.
Well, come on then, hurry up.
Hello?
Hello?
I
Is
barely
somewhere in
left the
there?
window ajar.
Nothing to see.
No.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Hmm? Yes, fine.
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Or maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
You can't possibly believe that.
Well, then
No.
what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor. So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have that would be worth stealing?
No, nothing.
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien. I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
Assuming there really was someone in the compartment, and he climbed out the window, where's he gone?
To the neighbors.
I really wonder what the professor is hiding from me. But I can't just rifle through the luggage of innocent citizens. This is the 60s. No, nothing interesting. The Bible, Grimm's fairy tales, Moby Dick, and gin, whiskey, and rum. All classics. Wow, you have a very nice fountain pen. Pricey.
If you'd managed to decode hieroglyphics that boggled the best minds of the last 3,000 years, you'd have received a gift like that as well.
So, nothing more to see. Oh, a button. Yay, we found
What's
a button.
this?
What do you have there?
It's a button. From a suit or a uniform, I guess.
From
A
the conductor.
burglar might have lost it.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
It must be.
If I notice anyone with a missing button on his jacket, I'll ask him about it. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. If there was a burglar, he climbed out the window and jumped off the train.
So there's really nothing more to see.
Professor Lucien?
Yes?
Oh,
nothing.
Well, good.
Okay, so we had someone who
Goodbye,
posed
Professor.
Goodbye.
as the conductor, and he went in here and went out, or on the roof to another compartment, or to the neighbors. Hello, neighbors.
The Baroness seems to have a special personality. I better not bother her until I find her purse.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me, sir.
We could have used you a few minutes ago.
No, I'm going after him. Where did he go?
All right, Matt. Tell me now. The violinist won't let me check his violin case.
Of course he won't. He's hiding something. Try to distract him, then you can have a look at his case.
No, I'm sorry. That's police work.
But I'm a sheriff.
But this isn't the Wild West. They'd flay me alive if I dragged a little boy into the investigation.
Little boy? You must be joking.
Sorry, Sheriff. But your idea about distracting him is good all the same. The kid's not on the warpath anymore. I don't think he'll be for the next half hour.
So now I can't go anywhere?
Hi, Matt. What? I just remembered there's something I forgot. I'll come back later.
That happens at your age.
The train covers many cities.
Okay, so where did the conductor go?
The violinist is uncooperative. I'm not authorized to search his belongings against his will and without a good reason. And he knows it. I have to come up with something. Matt?
Stupid, stupid. You can't be serious. I just fixed it. Okay, so let's talk to the boy again. Maybe I can get him to distract. Although I didn't say
What I wanted to ask is,
wanted to
tell
do
me,
it.
how long has your mother been working for the lady?
2 years.
And your father? What does he do?
He stayed home. I used to go fishing with him and hunting. He even let me shoot a real gun.
And then?
Then Mom fought with him, and he left. I was 7.
So long.
So longer.
Professor Lucien.
Door is open. How can I help you, Constable Zelda?
I'd like to have a look around the Did the burglar leave any clues? Here's something. Might be fingerprints. They're tough to make out, but I do believe there are some prints on the window. If I had a forensics kit, I could make the prints visible with carbon powder.
Well, you have a... Oh, wrong button. Is there a knife or something here? Oh, no, okay.
Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
I can use the scissors. I hope.
I better not bother her.
Okay, I'll get to later. First, let's go here.
When I scratch the pencil's lead with the scissors, I get fine graphite powder. I won't get a Nobel Prize for the idea, but graphite powder will bring out fingerprints at a pinch.
Yeah, that was very clever of me. Come on, walk.
Professor Lucien.
Door is open.
I really need to sit back for a bit.
How can I help
So
you?
come here, Ken. Come to me.
I'd like to have a look around the compartment.
Oh, of course.
Powder. Why? I hope you don't...
Well, wouldn't you expect that? A professional burglar wouldn't wear gloves.
Which makes me wonder what a professional burglar would hope to find in your compartment.
I don't have anything to say to that.
I thought as much. It was worth a try.
Okay, so we didn't have any fingerprints?
I can only make out faint traces. Whoever was in this compartment was wearing gloves. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
But we don't have. Okay. So nothing. Okay, we need a going to talk to the old lady and the man in the back.
Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
I was wondering if you might...
Sign your book, Constable Zellner?
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience, but only a small one. You are welcome.
Thank you so very much. Another time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Thank you for your hairpin, Mrs. Miller. It really got me out of a jam.
Oh, really? That's good to hear. And thank you for bringing it back to me. Not everybody would have.
I'm a Swiss policeman, madam. I couldn't do otherwise even if I tried. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
Goodbye. Okay, so the guy in the back.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Or maybe the other guy.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
I've been wondering why you're wearing gloves. Are your hands really so sensitive? Or are you cold?
Ah, well, it's an old habit. As a doctor, one is so conscious of all the pathogens, bacteria, and viruses that surround us. Though, of course, perhaps I do tend to be a bit too cautious.
I know exactly what you mean. As a policeman, I sense subterfuge and lies everywhere. Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Really?
I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the platform in Zurich.
Doe maar. Knock twice.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
All right. We should... What? The light's gone out! Flashlights! off me.
There, sir. An envelope.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box.
What the dickens?
Blimey.
It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
Well. Oh! Hint, press to highlight all objects in the scene.
Oh dear. Oh.
Is everyone all right? Are you hurt? Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it.
So there was a bomb on the train and we're stuck in a tunnel.
I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Why do you need light? Why?
The inspector's trap failed. Worse than that, he turned the tables. To win a game of cat and mouse, you have to know who is the cat and who is the mouse.
Yeah, okay, but go in?
It's still quite warm and too warped to open.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, then climb off the train, look at the wheels. Hopefully you'll find something.
I'm sure I can uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Hi Silver, welcome back. We got the guy in his cabin. We've been searching for the disappearing. Where? Sorry. Oh, so there was a bomb in the safe and it exploded, and then the tunnel in which we were collapsed, and I still hear nothing. Ha. So now we have to not be here. Go there. We have to find some light so we can uncouple the freight car.
The wheels came off the track during the explosion. Even if it were possible to pull the car out of the rubble, you wouldn't get far with it.
So now I need to find some light.
My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine. Carling Black Label, a British beer. No good. Insufficient alcohol content. For practical purposes, I mean, not for drinking.
Okay, but there's
Champagne, the finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me.
No.
The other passenger, if I don't hurry...
Blah, I want to know what the other bottle was. What's the other bottle?
Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs. Enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul. High-proof rum. Could be useful. A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall. The last of the candy has vanished. Measured against the exploding freight car, I think the railway will overlook the loss. Rum from Austria. Believe it or not, it's 80% alcohol by volume. There's no way anyone would drink it straight. I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff.
Oh, pardon me. I did not mean to scare you.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Oh, of course.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust, everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
Doctor? Can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
I will. Set everything on fire. What's that? What's there? Take the curtain. Yeah, because I need a piece of cloth.
I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with safety regulations at the cost of aesthetics. The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable. It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here.
Okay, so we'll set things on fire here. Hi.
I filled the bowl of strong stuff.
Hello? Curtain?
That should do it. Can't really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other hand, soaked up enough in my fingers to smell like a drunk. It's not bothering me. I'll leave it there.
Oh. Is there
I should concentrate on uncoupling the freight car. I'm positive.
Okay. Thought maybe there was some rod or something I could use to make a... Don't know the name anymore. Okay, so let's just throw some matches in there.
I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Strong stuff. There's a pretty intense draft here. The fire is sucking up the oxygen.
No.
There's a noticeable draft here. Maybe it's because of the fire, or perhaps there's still a hole through which the air is coming. The latter will be quite welcome. It will buy us some more time.
Then how do I get... Yeah, I tried that, but maybe...
Okay, I'll smear some grease on the curtain. The grease from the coupling is all over the curtain. It'll never be clean again. I'm sure I can uncouple the car if I...
Just go up. I tried to use the matches with the bowl filled with rum, but... I'll make a Molotov cocktail.
I shouldn't be wasteful. One burning match should be enough.
Then use it for something, man.
I filled the bowl about 1/3 of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff. I filled the bowl.
Strong stuff, yeah. Use rum with what? Rock button.
I expect the rum will burn like ethanol, but I better not test that theory in the bottle. I filled the bowl about 1/3 of the way with rum.
So
Phew, strong stuff.
No, wrong button. Use the match.
Just as I expected, the alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame. The flame is hot, but it's no use as a light source. The temperature at the tip of the flames from the alcohol should be high enough to set fire to the oil and grease on the curtain, and thus the curtain as well. But if it works, I better not be holding it in my bare hands.
No, and that's why I want you to find a leg of a stool or a chair or something to wrap the curtain around.
I don't see Legrand or the constable, but I can make out the silhouettes of some of the passengers. They seem to be unscathed. All the same, the fire is getting bigger, and I don't have much time.
Hurry up then.
I should concentrate.
Useless.
Must be good for something. Nothing.
Freaking sound. I think. Don't do that. Is there anything I can do here?
I can feel cold metal and a screw thread, and a lot of grease, but I can't do more without light.
Okay, I'm going to stop. You know, previous game also had some problems, but it was only in the beginning. And now, so many times. Well, I would like to uncouple the card, but if the sound goes away again, I stop. It's almost 9 o'clock, so probably have some other streams to watch, hopefully. Okay, so I need something to look out the window, look at the chair. Break the chair.
The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable.
I can use it with anything.
It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here. All right, let's go.
Torch. That wasn't the name. I totally forgot it.
I'm the god of fire.
Yes.
That's better now. Incredibly basic mechanism. The kind that lasts forever. Won't budge. Too much tension on the coupling. A lever on a pressure sleeve running along a thread. I don't think it'll work. As long as there's so much tension, the coupling won't budge.
Okay, so what now?
Aha! I can uncouple it with this lever. Okay.
Yay!
There we go. Time to get out of here.
Woohoo!
Listen, everybody. Listen. Robert, what's the situation?
Yeah, I couldn't find the engineer, so I got in the driver's cab myself and released the brake.
All right. Good job. You too. Listen, please.
Matty! Where's Matt? Where's my son?
Relax, madame. I'm sure.
Help! Matty! No!
Yeah, I really don't get it. I think this is a save point in the game, right? Should be. I'll just save it myself and then I'm gonna end it. I'm going to end the stream for today because of problems. I don't get it. I don't know why it's so buggy today. There's no reason. Yeah, I'm sorry. I will have a look tomorrow and maybe I'll be able to fix it. If not, maybe it's also some things in the game. Oh, you're there. Okay. Maybe it's also some things in the game because I had little problems in the Raven. No, the Black Mirror. This is the Raven. Black Mirror didn't have as much problems as this one. Only um, the Quiet Man had. But that was a strange game. And they were all on the PS4, so it's weird indeed. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Hopefully with more sound and less problems. Let's quickly go to the ending screen. Bye bye, see you next time.